The much-awaited 26th ANC Youth League Conference is taking place at Newzroom this weekend, and it has been 8 years since the governing party's youth wing held an elective conference. And Ziniko Mhlaba spoke to Xola Ngola, who's been axed as the ANC Youth League Task Team convener. Okay, I believe we can now speak to Newzroom Afrika Ziniko Mhlaba, who is at that elective conference of the ANC's Youth League. Ziniko, take us through what is happening at this hour.
Well, Duduzile, we're here at the registration center in Omonde, not far from the conference venue where the ANC Youth League will be battling it out for its 26th conference. So you remember that, Duduzile, it's been over 6 years and about 8 years since the conference last set and elected national leadership. Let me bring in one of the people who's eyeing a very, very strategic position for this particular league, Mr. Zwelo Masilela. Mr. Masilela, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. A very, very crucial conference for the ANC Youth League. But for the leaders who are raising up their hands and saying we are ready to lead, how important is this for you?
No, this is important because it's a task given to people who are trusted by branches of the ANC Youth League across the country to carry their hopes and aspirations in ensuring that whatever mandate is given at this Congress ought to be implemented by that leadership. So that is a serious responsibility, and it ought to be respected and given the honor it deserves.
I mean, talk to us about some of the key policies you think the ANC must really look into, especially when it comes to job losses and unemployment in this country, but the issues that have to do with the economic opportunities for young people. What are the key policies that you think your leadership, should it emerge, it will definitely champion for?
Key amongst other things in our economic policies, we call for the reindustrialization of South African economy, to say that most of the things that are imported in the country ought not to be imported, but should be processed and manufactured in the country. Many other industries that I can make examples of, which we believe that as a part of getting jobs, because if we bring investors, investments must be about ensuring that there's manufacturing firms, so that we don't become a consumerist state, but a productive state, so that we truly speak to the idea of a developmental state in practical terms, even at the level of investment and corporations that may be.
I mean, the issue of preparing for this particular conference, there have been some reports that some provinces, their provincial conferences have been outlawed or being deemed as if they were not supposed to take place. So in terms of the credentials and credibility of this particular conference, how credible it is, especially for you as a young person?
It is very much credible. Hence, you would see our processes getting a bit delayed, because all we want to do here is that the necessary branch delegates and all people that are supposed to be delegates at this conference are properly registered and are the correct people, such that anybody who even attempts to litigate, because we want to ensure that even when we're litigated, our processes are above reproach, and we ensure that the processes cover the work we would have done. Of course, there are imperfections in certain areas, and I think as a youth league, we'll have to improve our systems. As you would know, unlike the ANC, we don't have an online membership system. All our issues are done manually. For an example, we capture delegates manually, and all of this. These are the things that cause a delay. But because we want the processes to be credible and thorough, hence the bit of delay, as we would have started late with registration yesterday. But we would have done some pre-registration in provinces over the weekend, so that would help us as well to push and ensure that we start Congress today.
Mr. Mweli there. Thank you very much for your time there. Well, it seems as if all systems go as far as some of the delegates are concerned. That was one of the people who was raising his hand for the position of Treasurer General, speaking to us here on Newzroom Afrika. So that's where things stand. Well, delegates are still registering here at Omonde at the UNISA campus.
Thank you very much, Ziniko Mhlaba, for that update.